Hey, what's up everyone? This is Min, and today I'm going to make this tutorial for this landing page 3D motion. So I did this one a few weeks ago, and there were many people who came up and asked me about how I created this 3D motion here and what tool did I use. So I decided to make this tutorial to share with you guys. Before we get started, just a heads up that I'm going to go through everything very quickly because I want to talk a lot about basic stuff. Otherwise, this video is gonna take a lot of time. So if you are a beginners or you're very new to 3D or After Effects, it could be a little bit tricky for you. Otherwise, it should be fun. So let's talk about the tool first. So we're gonna need After Effects and Element 3D plugin. Yeah, so this is a very cool plugin that I use. I have been using for like 6 years, and it has become super handy when it comes to 3D motion. So basically, you can control 3D object. You can play around with material, lighting, um, animation right inside After Effects with this plugin. So I use this a lot. So it should be cool if you can check this out and try it. Go back to the tool, and the other thing you're gonna need is Cinema 4D or any other kinds of 3D models software that you can do, like blenders or 3ds Max. um, Anything could work. So here I am in Cinema 4D. So I just prepared this scene a little bit earlier so we can save some time here. So what we have here is the plane, some very simple object that represent each of these these screen here. So we have the kind of cylinder, we have a cube, and we have a sphere. So these are the three objects here. So what we're going to do here is to apply the material, which is these three material: map 1, map 2, and map 3, that we're going to apply to only for the size of these cylinder, and also the size of the cube, and the hole for this sphere. So let's select these cylinders and select the polygon. So select only the side polygon, and we need to select all of it, so we should turn this off. Okay, and just drag this material map 1 to the object, and now you can see it's being applied to this. And also doing the same thing for this one. Oh, it's already been selected. Magic. And drag this here. And the last one, very simple, just drag this one here. So we have all three material being applied to these three objects. And let's save this scene. And now what we're gonna do next is open After Effects and create a new comb. And let's create a solid layer. Okay, and apply the Element 3D plugin to this solid layer. Okay, so click go scene setup, import. Okay. So when we goes here, and you can see that there's a few weird things going on here. Maybe because there's some often is just playing around here. Let's remove it and save it. So when you save the Cinema 4D file, is going to automatically update to the element 3D scene. No, it's not square. Now we have to save it first. There you go. So we have all three objects here, and as you can see, the plane here is not showing up in the elements 3D scene because we need to make it editable to be able to let it show here. But you can also, you can also remove it and create a plane from here. Same thing. So maybe I would prefer to have the plane here, so it's easier to control it. Let's make it a little bit bigger. No, not just a plane. And move it down a little bit. Okay, so now we have almost everything here. So let's see how it's going to be. So you and go back here, you see the 3D model here, and let's create a camera. So yeah, you can see the whole thing with the camera here. So yeah, this is base. So the next step is we're going to apply this texture, this animated texture, to the size of the cylinder. So basically this one is just the footage that I have here. So it's just an stock footage, and I don't even need to get rid of this watermark. It doesn't matter. So we can use this to apply to the material here. And first let's create maybe a new comb. Like this, and let's drag this one in and make it bigger. So we're going to use this part. Need to fill up all of the comb. Okay, so we have the comb with this video playing inside, and now we call it map 1. And I'll drag this into the main comb and turn it off. You don't need it to be visible, you just need it to be here. And then you select the element 3D layer and go to custom layer and custom texture map. You apply this map 1 to custom texture layer 1. And now we go back to the scene setup, and if you drop this down, you can see this is the map 1 material. This is the orange one. So when you go to the texture, and when you click on this drop down, it's going to show you a bunch of custom layer map 1, and select it, and okay, you can see that the video is being mapped to the material here, but something doesn't quite right, because yeah, need to you can take this diffuse color and bring it up to white in order to show the video, the material, the original material in here. Otherwise, if you use other colors, just kind of blend in with these colors. So that's not what we want to do. So we have this, and let's go back. Yes, you can see that when you play this one, you can see that the video is playing inside the 3D object. Okay. So this is not the look, because this is not a seamless video, so you're gonna see the cut. It's kind of cut. this cut here, so it doesn't matter because we're gonna cover it. We don't need to see it, so let's adjust this mapping by clicking to the material. Maybe let's use this. I'm gonna play around, select the 3D model, and then select this one. This is the UV mapping, and you can adjust UV mapping here. Maybe adjust the offset so it goes away, so you don't need to see it. It's kind of hitting in the back here, so it's better like this. Okay, now what we need to do is to, so we have basic scene here. Let's see what we're missing. So we're missing this base with the this kind of very cool reflection. So let's go back here and create a cylinder. There you go. It's the cylinder. And oh, not the plane, just the cylinder. Drag it over here and maybe bring it, increase the radius like this, and create a side polygon so it could be smoother, and maybe bring it down very close to the ground. Maybe more polygon on side. Okay, and I'm going to create a new material. Let's call it reflection. Yeah, it's not a really good name, but whatever. Just some sample. Okay, reflection, and then oh no, it's kind of messed up. What happened? Okay, just redo it. Reflection should go to the tube, not the cylinder. Okay, and now we're gonna kind of, yeah, give it a kind of dark gray color. And here, so we have it here, but there's no reflection. So what you need to do is go back here, select the material, and increase the reflectivity here. And you don't want it to be too glossy, so you can reduce it here. So as you can see that this is reflecting, but it's not reflecting the cylinder inside. It's only reflecting the environment. So what you need to do is to select the object and go to this tab where you can, there's option to switch to, it's kind of reflection mode, and then you can switch to mirror surface so that it will reflect whatever object that is in front of it. So now we can see that there is a very cool reflection going on here. So if we go back to the scene, you can see it's showing up here. So yeah, very cool. So when you play it, and you can see that it's playing, and then you see a reflection, it's doing exactly the same. So I think that's pretty much about the material. So now what we need to do next is to make it look nice, because this is look super ugly. Let's make it look like this. So first thing is go to render setting and go to ambient occlusion. So what this does is to create some kind of sharp shadow between object, so the feel is more realistic. Let's turn this on. And as you can see here, as I turn this on, this shadows is kind of bouncing to these objects. That's me, yeah. So if everything feels more natural, feel more realistic, like this. You can even make it a little bit more intense, like increasing this. So yeah, cool. Now let's play around with the lighting. Sorry, lighting, not lightning. So let's use some simple light, and just play around with this. You can move this around to see that what kind of lighting composition that work best for this case. Yeah, I think I would prefer something like this. And it's kind of dark here, so we're gonna go to, let's turn this off. We're gonna go to physical environment, and maybe let's increase the exposure. Now we're talking here, so it's lighting up the scene and everything feels much better. So, and what's missing here is it doesn't feel like a screen. It needs to be like glowy, it needs to shine like glowing, so that it feels like it's a digital screen. So let's go back here and go to this material and go to illumination and increase. Maybe let's use a color, increase it to maybe, yeah, like this, like 37%. And here, as you can see, it's kind of brightening up and everything feels, much more interesting right now. Let's make it even better. Maybe increase this more. Okay, so I really go with this. Yeah, see, it could be much more. Yes, much better. And now, other thing that we can do is play around with flow. If you animate flow, and you can see that there's a lot of setting here that you can do to play around with flow. Yeah, I would prefer this like this. So you can see that very nice things going on here. Okay, and maybe I can, yeah, let's play around with these material for the ground and the wall. So I have the material here. Maybe just make it brighter even for the floor, and brighter. And maybe let's go back to see the lightning. So it doesn't feel like the white here is working. And you can even, rotate this environment so that you can have a better reflection going on here. As you see, there's a lot of things that you can experiment and try, to achieve the look that you are aiming to do. So let's go back here. Maybe we don't need it to be crossing this. Even the wall, it's just, I want it to be like matte kind of feeling here. Okay, I think in terms of lighting here, it feels pretty realistic. Now, so what we can do is to apply some colors adjustment to get close to this. So let's create a shape layer. So yeah, I want it to be gradient. So let's have some kind of these colors here, and here is a cooler color like this. Yeah, and just like this, and give it a blending mode like this. So yeah, as you can see here, it feels very close and it feels much more interesting than this. But it's quite intense, so maybe just bring it to 30 years. Yeah, something like this work. So you can play around with this opacity here to achieve what kind of look and feel that you want to do. So I think that pretty much for this section. And what you need to do the rest is just apply the same process to the rest of the scene, which is this one and this one here. So the same thing. And once you get these done, the rest is super simple. What you're gonna do is just to animate the cameras like this. So we're gonna start with something like this, right? Start with something like this, and select make a keyframe, and go to this one. Go to this section here. Like this, you can adjust the angle a little bit. No, I want to see that part. So something like this, and you can see a very cool transition from this to this, like this. And let's apply this to some kind of easing here. I'm using Motion V2. I think it's quite handy to adjust these easing for the keyframe. It's very fast. All you gotta do is just to drag this to and then just whatever you want to do, it can support it here in terms of easing, keyframe easing. This is like easing in, out, or easy E, everything's super handy. So let's have a quick review of this scene. So I think it's very close to what I have. So yeah, I think that's the basic process, basic workflow that you need to do in order to achieve this kind of landing page style. I think it's even look better than what I have here. Yeah, it's a funny thing about 3D is that there's a lot of possibility that can come out doing your process of working. That sometimes you just trying things and then something very cool just kind of come up, and then you have no idea how you did it. That's the best thing about being a designer, that sometimes things just line up. Anyway, I hope this is useful. Again, it could be like too much for beginners, but if you are like more like an advanced designer, I think it could help, or at least just inspire you to create something similar. And yeah, I will talk to you next time. Maybe I will do more of these if I get good response from you guys. So yeah, so